guys, what's going on? I hope you are all doing well. I just had to do a little audition, so I was already down here and I figured I might as well make a fasting video because I said I was going to and you guys are all asking for them. So I just thought I'd give you kind of an overview and a few fasting hacks that I have employed in my fasting regime over the years that hopefully can help you out on your journey with fasting. So currently I'm actually in the almost middle of a 10-day fast. I'm on day 4 and I fast throughout the year many different ways. I really have found, for me specifically, it is the most powerful tool I can use in my healing process. That and always trying to remain as positive as possible because that's very, very important. So there are a variety of fasts that you can do. You can do short fast, you can do long fast, midterm stuff, intermittent fasting, all that kind of thing. I think today I'm just going to focus a little bit on a longer fast. So anything sort of beyond 72 hours. So a 3-day fast or longer. The first thing that I want to tell you guys is when you're going into a fast, it's really very important that you do your very best to eat as clean as possible leading into the fast. So avoid as much sugar, alcohol, processed foods, that kind of thing as you can. It's just going to help the actual effects of the fasting be that much more prominent throughout. What I have learned over the years through a lot of mistakes that I made, especially early on, is that one of the most important things that you can do to make your fast that much more bearable is to ensure that you have electrolytes, specifically salt, potassium, and magnesium in your daily fasting supplement regime. These are really important for making you generally feel better, and they're not going to negatively affect your fast in any way. So what do I actually eat on a fast? Other than the electrolytes, I will have different types of teas. There are numerous teas that are super beneficial that you can have, obviously without any kind of sugar or honey or sweetener in the teas, that can help promote the benefits of your fasting. So you can drink teas like dandelion root tea, and you can drink red clover, and you can drink green tea. You can drink a specific detox tea. I just grab mine off of Amazon or at the grocery store when I'm there. There's just general detox teas throughout there that work pretty well to help you get things moving through the body. And I absolutely drink coffee every single day when I'm fasting. Caffeine is your best friend when you're fasting. If you're already a coffee drinker, you do not need to give up coffee for your fast. And if you don't drink coffee, that's totally fine. You don't have to have it. You can, again, take green tea, which has caffeine in it, or you can just avoid it and not have the caffeine effects. But personally, I drink coffee. I love my coffee. I don't know how I would fast without coffee. I hope I never have to find out. Obviously with the coffee, you don't want to be adding any sugar. You don't want to be adding any sweeteners. I will have some cream in my coffee. My general belief at this point is that fasting still has all the benefits that I'm looking for, so long as I stay within a 200 calorie or less intake in my day. And that's a very, very small amount of caloric intake. And we're going to be getting the autophagy and the benefits that we're looking for. Sorry guys, my brain's a little bit foggy in the moment because I haven't managed my die-off effect very well this time, which I'm going to get to. So in the beginning of my fasting journey, I was just absolutely hardcore. I drank water. I didn't have any coffee with cream in it. I did not take anything at all in, and I suffered for it. And I don't think that you have to. I just think that depending on how long you want to do a fast, there are certain things that you can do and to help keep you in that fast longer that, again, doesn't negate the goals of your fast. So I follow this doctor called Mindy Peltz. She's great. She is the first person who actually taught me about fasting snacks, and I don't have them all the time. Like I haven't had any yet on this 4-day fast, but if I felt like I was really drained and I needed to be able to do something and that I have to have some kind of energy for that I somehow don't have during my fast, I will take in small amounts of fat, specifically things like bone broth, like a cup of bone broth or a quarter of an avocado or a tablespoon of almond butter or coconut oil. You can add little bits of these things in, especially the coconut oil, throughout your fast. and they just kind of help get you through the hump without taking you out of your ketosis state and your state of autophagy that is cleaning up all these old dead cells that we don't want, and pathogens that are in our body. That is kind of like the whole point of doing the fast. There are a variety of supplements that you can take during a fast, and I'm just going to give you a couple of ideas of some of them that you can add into your cocktail, if you will. Spermidine is a really good one. It promotes autophagy, and I need my cheat sheet here because I need to know how much to tell you to take. So for spermidine, you can take between 1 and 10 milligrams per day on your fast. And again, it's an autophagy promoter. DHA, I believe you should take around, I take around 25 milligrams of DHEA a day. And DHEA, other than being a sort of general life boosting awesome supplement, it also helps to counter any cortisol spikes that you have during your fast, potentially. You don't want your cortisol levels up ever unless you're in a total fight or flight situation. MCT oil and coconut oil. Again, I mentioned the coconut oil earlier, but this again helps just promote the actual ketosis and autophagy throughout. I will always take probiotics during my fast. My favorite probiotic is Saccharomyces boulardii. Vet your sources, guys. Like, I don't want to tell you where to get things specifically. I've tried different ones over the years. Saccharomyces boulardii. I am not going to try to spell that for you. Also, Fisetin is a really good one because it has senolytic purposes. So it basically decreases senescent cells. So what is a senescent cell and why would we want to decrease it? A senescent cell is a cell in your body that no longer is replicating and has not died. So if you think of it like a plant that has flowers on it and you have to deadhead the flowers, the energy in our body is being sent still to these cells and they're not replicating. So they're old kind of wasteful cells that are taking up space in our body, and we need to get rid of them as much as possible so that we can promote healthy new cell growth. Really important thing that you need to try to mitigate in your fast is die-off effect. What is die-off effect? Essentially, die-off effect is when these pathogens that are being deprived of nutrients because we're not feeding them, they die in your body. And what happens is it causes an immune response, and your body kind of promotes inflammation, which inflammation can be good in a lot of ways, but not all at once. So inflammation is the body's natural protective mechanism for injury and other. But too much of it is not a good thing. I think we all know that at this point. So die-off effect, when we're killing candida, when we're killing parasites, bacteria, different pathogens in our body at a large rate, which we are doing with fasting, we can get things like irritability and brain fog and general fatigue and just, not feeling well in your body. And maybe you're not the happiest, sweetest, nicest person to be around when that's happening. So for the sake of yourself and for everyone in your family who you love, you want to try to manage your die-off effect. So how can we do that? There are a lot of different ways. There are a lot of different things that I employ, starting with dry brushing. So dry brushing your body, you can take a bristly brush, you can get natural ones, and sort of circulate the skin, the entire body towards the heart. So if you're starting at your feet, you want to come up towards your heart, arms come in towards your heart, and just dry brush so you get a bit of a red glow on your body. So that's helping circulation. You want to get this stuff processed through your blood system, through your liver. You want to get it expelled from your body as quickly as possible. So you can do dry brushing. You can do oil pulling. If you don't know what oil pulling is, there used to be a website called oilpulling.com. I don't know if it's there anymore. I was looking it up the other day. Didn't find it. Oil pulling. Ancient Ayurvedic technique. I think traditionally they use like a raw sesame oil, but I use coconut oil. So when you have an empty stomach, you can do this anytime. You don't have to be fasting, but on an empty stomach, which is easy because you're fasting, you're not eating anything, just swish coconut oil in your mouth for about 20 minutes. I know that seems like a long time, but you'd be surprised at how quickly it goes, because you could just put it on your nightstand, which is what I do. First thing when you wake up in the morning, put about a tablespoon in your mouth and swish it around, and then spit it into the garbage. Do not spit it down your sink. You will clog your drains. Also, you do not want to gargle it. You do not want to get it on your glands and your throat, because what it's doing is it's basically help promoting a lot of bad bacteria kind of coming out and good bacteria in the mouth to give you like really amazing teeth. And also, again, it's helping with this detoxing situation and die-off effect. Saunas are awesome. You just want to make sure that you're hydrated. Please stay hydrated. Hydrate yourself on fast. If you are starting to feel in any way tired, headachy, run down, drink more water. Drink lemon water. That's the other thing. So you can have lemon. You can have lemon, you can have lime. I don't really do anything other citrus besides those two. But yeah, you want to have the promotion of sweating in your body without heavy exertion. So saunas are great for that. Walking, obviously, I love to walk on fast. I love to walk all the time. And Epsom salt baths. So we talked about magnesium earlier being really important as an electrolyte that you need to have in your body. Magnesium is better absorbed through the skin than it is orally. So I do an Epsom salt bath every single night that I'm on a fast. And then what I do after the Epsom salt bath is I wrap myself up in blankets and towels and all kinds of things. And I just continue my sweat for another 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, until I'm done, until I feel like I've had enough sweating and I really want it. And then I'll just take all that off. Be very careful after this to not get up too quickly. You want to do it very progressively because you will be lightheaded for a little while, and you want to rehydrate after that as soon as possible. And also the salt, I cannot tell you a dose to take. I love my Celtic sea salt, excuse me. I'll take salt as I feel like I need it throughout my day. If you get any muscle cramps, you want to up your magnesium a bit and your potassium a little bit. I think typically I take between 50 and 100 milligrams of potassium a day. And I think the same for magnesium. Don't quote me on that. Sorry, again, brain not working perfectly tonight. And then here's the one that makes everybody say, I want nothing to do with this, but I believe that is one of the most important things that you can do during your fast. I can't convince Devin of this, but daily enemas. So all this stuff is dying off in your body. We're into autophagy. We're into the dirty cells being cleaned up in our body, and it's all ending up in our bloodstream and it's filtering through. And obviously, because we're not eating, we're not having regular bowel movements. It's very important to cleanse your colon as you're fasting. Trust me on this, guys. It's not that bad. I've been doing it a long time. I do have a funny story for you. There are many, many different types of enemas. If you're really new to this and you just want to go to the pharmacy and buy a fleet enema, go for it. I wouldn't suggest the mineral oil. Do the like sodium biphosphate or whatever it's called. But I have my own enema kit. I know, big girl. And I do enemas, all kinds of enemas. I do apple cider vinegar enemas, which is like a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in 4 liters of water. I do probiotic enemas where I'll mix probiotics in. I'll do garlic enemas sometimes, where you boil garlic in water and then strain it. And one of my favorite enemas was this organic coffee enema that I bought from a very reputable company, and I've been using it for over 10 years, easily, probably longer. And last summer, when I was on my extended fast, my 21-day fast, I guess it was spring, night 17, I did my enema as per usual, and all of a sudden my face got really warm, and then my sinuses filled up, and then I started wheezing, and my face swelled. So I thought at the time it was a major die-off effect because I was also combining my long fast with a parasite cleanse, and sometimes when you can have like a really big murder session of the parasites, you could have this big die-off effect. I think it's called the herxing response. Yeah, so where weird things can happen in your body as an immune response, like we talked about. So I waited 2 days and did my coffee enema again, and sure enough, it happened again. And then I went and got allergy testing done, and it turns out I've developed an anaphylactic allergy to my coffee enema. So no more coffee enemas for me. It's okay for me to still drink coffee. I had the whole conversation with my allergist, and but no more in the colon. Yeah, so no more of those for me. But please don't let that shy you away from coffee enemas, because coffee enemas have incredible benefits for cleansing the liver and the gallbladder and all kinds of just amazing things. I'm going to sadly miss my coffee enemas. do them. Trust me, enemas, good for you. Another thing to really try to take in consideration when you are doing a fast is that all the physical things that you're doing are very important to consider in your fast, but so is the mental space that you are occupying. Fasting is you're in a really kind of vulnerable state with yourself, and you get this ability to kind of tune into your habits, your relationships with food, your maybe even spirituality. I think there's a lot of fasting in religion and in spirituality from all across the religions and cultures. I think it's important to stay very, very mentally positive and kind to yourself when you're fasting. You should always do it, but when you're fasting especially. And it's a really nice time to kind of tune into things that you don't take enough time for when you are busy hustling and bustling around in life, as we all do. I love to make art when I'm fasting. I'm not a great artist, but I love to make art when I'm fasting. I love to find some kind of creative project when I'm fasting. I often write when I'm fasting, journaling or writing scripts or whatever. But I think it's just a really nice way to benefit yourself mentally when you're fasting. And anytime we take any kind of breaks from the general social media, enjoy my YouTube video, that we are all consumed by these days, I think it's a very, very net positive overall. So mentally, when you're fasting, please be kind to yourself and really try to tap into the earth and the universe as much as possible. Okay, so kind of covered, I think, most of the things that I wanted to talk about with the actual fast. Now, when you go to break your fast, it really doesn't matter how long you fasted. When you break your fast, it's very important to do it again, kind of like you came into the fast, eating clean. You want to come out of it and eat clean. You don't want to take all that work that you've done and then just kind of wash it away by throwing a McDonald's burger and fries, chocolate shake down your throat. Although those do sound really good right now. No, back to what's important. When you refeed, it's very important to start with things like bone broth or sauerkraut. My favorite basic meal after a long fast, will be bone broth, followed half an hour later by sauerkraut, avocado. I will take nutritional yeast as well because it has lots of B vitamins in it, and it kind of helps. I forget the whole science behind it, guys. And again, I should have started this video by saying I am not a medical professional. I am not a medical professional. These are just the things that I have used over the years to incorporate into my fasting regime because I find they've really worked for me. There are a lot of experts out there. I'm not an expert, but you guys asked what I do, so I'm telling you. Yeah, kefir or plain yogurt. These are lots of high probiotic value. Apple cider vinegar. And that's me on a refeed. So that's it, guys. That's kind of an overview on how I fast. What are some of the things that I like to incorporate in my fast? There are other supplements that I use. Sometimes I will combine, like I mentioned earlier, some kind of cleansing regime within the fast. I could talk about fasting for hours and hours and hours and hours and days, but try to make a relatively quick video for you guys. Thanks for sticking around if you're here still to the end. And just kind of give you an overview of what I like to do during my fast. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions yourself and want to tell any stories about your fasting, I would love to hear them. I'm always learning, guys. I've made so many mistakes along the way. I'm sure I will continue to make more. I'd love to hear from you all to see what your thoughts are on this video and on fasting in general. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.